Well, Beijing has upped the ante on its diplomatic dispute with Tokyo, suspending all seafood imports from Japan. China says the move was prompted by the need to further monitor the water from Fukushima that's being released into the ocean. But it's being viewed as another act of retaliation by Beijing over Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi's remarks about triggering a military response if China invades Taiwan. Let's get more on this with Dr. Jeff Hall, Special Lecturer in Japanese Studies at Kanda University of International Studies. Jeff, good to have you back on the program. Now, firstly, China had only just lifted partial suspensions of seafood from Japan, and now they're back again in full scale. How damaging is this for an industry that's so valued in Japan, and considering China accounts for 20% of Japanese exports?
Well, it is a pretty significant move by China. It's obviously politically motivated. There's no good scientific reason behind this. Nothing new has happened in Fukushima since China started to lift the ban. But this will especially hurt areas of Japan like Hokkaido, where fishermen and the fishing industry really relies a lot on purchases from China. So this will be one of many steps that China could take to economically damage Japan in response to Takaichi's Taiwan remarks.
Yes, and of course, beyond this, there also were these travel advisories from China, and now we are getting reports as well that up to 500,000 tickets, from China to Japan were cancelled. So beyond the politics, are businesses now further bracing for economic pain?
It's going to be painful if those numbers are true about cancellations. Chinese make up about 1/4 of the tourists who travel to Japan each year. So if 500,000 a month or more decide to take the advice of their government, it's going to have an economic impact. And it's not a total ban, though, and Japan remains an affordable tourist destination for many countries. So there probably will be some Chinese who come anyway.
Yes, of course, this reaction and retaliation from Beijing, there's no surprises here. It's done so before. But can you tell us, Beijing is known to use trade as a weapon in bilateral spats. So it begs the question, what the Prime Minister Takaichi was thinking when she made those remarks, knowing that there would be some concrete action from China.
Well, there's two possible explanations. One is that she wanted to stand out with her nationalistic conservative views on protecting Taiwan by saying something that previous prime ministers hadn't directly said. The other possibility was that she made these remarks without necessary preparation and without the anticipation that this was actually a change that would spark a Chinese reaction. In either case, she's left in a situation where it's very difficult for her to reverse herself. Her supporters would be extremely disappointed. They see this as a principled stance against Chinese aggression, and China's response with threats to, say, behead her from a diplomat. This kind of thing is all over the Japanese news, and it's looking like China is the extreme party in this case.
Yes, and what sort of impact has this had on Prime Minister Takaichi politically? Will the electorate say, what are you doing here?
I think the electorate has a lot of sympathy towards Taiwan and negative feelings towards mainland China. And so, although her remarks were perhaps unexpected, the extreme way that China has been responding, the disproportionate response that Japanese people see it as, might actually help Takaichi politically. And if there is economic damage to Japan, if Japan's economy doesn't grow as much as people hoped it would, she can blame this on China being unreasonable now. So that could be a possible tool that she can use, just as China can blame their own economic situation on Japan's unreasonableness.
Yes, and how do you think she's going to, do this balancing act of trying to sort of ease the tensions with China, but at the same time not compromising on what it feels about Taiwan?
I think there's not much she can do other than wait it out and see just how much China wants to inflict harm on Japan's economy. Just the seafood ban might be enough, or there could be more. But I very much doubt that she'll take back her remarks. It will make her look weak, and I don't think that voters anticipate or expect her to retract the remarks.
Yes, and so we see these diplomatic talks, they've been underway for days between Japan and China. How have they been going? Because one doesn't see China easing any sanctions in such a short space of time.
Yes, the Japanese sent a top diplomat to China, and it doesn't look like the meeting went well at all. No progress was made. So we could see months or even years of these economic sort of sanctions put on Japan as punishment for what Takaichi said.
Yes, and would that give Japan time to look elsewhere for economic partners to fill the void of China? Or is the Chinese market simply too big to overcome?
It is something that you can't really replace in the short term. It is so close to Japan. There are so many consumers. Japan gets so many products from China as well. So there's no easy fix for this. You're not going to find somebody else to buy all this seafood. And the tourism is not just going to suddenly increase by 25% from other countries. So this is going to hurt Japan economically. And Takaichi is going to have to deal with that economic fallout. And it's also a situation where Japan is suffering from America's tariffs as well. So it's sort of like a double hit to Japan's economy.
Okay, Jeff Hall, really good to get your thoughts on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.